They walked out when I needed them most. Now I closed the door. Liam had the world on a silver platter, the shining star of our family, groomed for success, handed everything on a diamond-studded tray. A six-figure salary as a dealership executive, a penthouse overlooking Central Park, and our Aunt Carol and Uncle Robert, who funded his every whim like it was pocket change. Me, I was just Maya, scraping by on 2 part-time jobs, living in a cramped studio apartment where the heating barely sputtered to life in the dead of winter. At every family gathering, I was the quiet shadow in the corner, the uncomfortable truth across from Liam's dazzling narrative. The Thanksgiving dinner that broke me started with Liam's grand entrance. He glided through the polished double doors of Aunt Carol's penthouse in a tailored suit that probably cost more than my annual income, the gleam of his new Mercedes key fob casually jingling from his manicured fingers, reflected in the crystal chandelier above. Aunt Carol and Uncle Robert enveloped their golden boy in a whirlwind of hugs and effusive praise, while I, ever the dutiful niece, was busy refilling their champagne flutes, practically hired help, still working at that little car rental place. "Sweetheart," Aunt Carol asked, her voice a saccharine blend of pity and thinly veiled judgment, the kind reserved for stray animals or hopelessly lost causes. She immediately pivoted to Liam, her eyes lighting up. "Tell us about the new luxury line, darling. I heard it's revolutionizing the market." Uncle Robert's chest puffed out with pride as Liam recounted his dealings with high-net-worth clients and exclusive car launches. His eyes sparkled with an intensity they never held when he looked at me. When Liam mentioned securing a multi-million-dollar fleet deal, Uncle Robert actually clapped. "Some people are just built for this life, Maya. Others, they just don't have the stomach for it," he said, shooting me a pointed look that felt like a physical blow. I focused on my plate, my fork trembling slightly as I pushed around a forgotten Brussels sprout. The veiled interrogation continued through dessert, each casual question landing like a fresh bruise. I contemplated going back to school, maybe asking Liam if he could pull some strings for an entry-level position at the dealership. Perhaps it was time to get serious about my future. My jaw clenched tighter with every suggestion that I was wasting my potential, wasting my life. When I brought Maria, my best friend, home for New Year's, the unspoken assault escalated. Maria was a nurse, working honest hours with hands that healed and a smile that radiated genuine warmth. Liam's new girlfriend, a slick corporate lawyer, droned on about their upcoming winter retreat in Verbia while Aunt Carol and Uncle Robert hung on her every word. "Different people have different capabilities, dear," Aunt Carol purred to Liam, loud enough for Maria and me to hear. My face burned with humiliation. Uncle Robert cornered me in the kitchen. "You're 27, Maya. Don't you think it's time to aim high?" His disappointed sigh felt like a punch to the gut. "We invest in winners. Maya, always have, always will." The final blow came during the gift exchange. Liam casually mentioned Aunt Carol and Uncle Robert had helped with the down payment on a new custom-built mansion in the Hamptons. A cool $500,000 transferred without a second thought. 6 months earlier, I'd asked to borrow $200 for emergency car repairs and gotten a stern lecture about financial responsibility and pulling myself up by my bootstraps. "We believe in investing where we see potential, Maya," Aunt Carol explained, her words cutting deeper than any knife. I excused myself to the lavish powder room and stared at my reflection, eyes burning with unshed tears. In that moment, I wanted to scream, to tell them exactly what I thought of their selective generosity, their blatant favoritism. Instead, I splashed cold water on my face and returned to endure the rest of their performance, a hollow ache growing in my chest. 2 weeks later, fate served me the truth. Not on a silver platter, but across a gleaming showroom floor, working my evening shift as a junior sales assistant at Sterling Motors, the very luxury car dealership where Liam claimed to be an executive. I spotted a familiar figure at an exclusive VIP viewing. Liam, laughing intimately with a man who was definitely not his girlfriend, shaking hands over a stack of suspicious-looking documents. His corporate lawyer girlfriend was supposedly on a business trip in Geneva. I watched him slip an unmarked envelope across the polished mahogany desk. The man's heavy gold watch glinted under the spotlight as he pocketed it. My hand shook as I pretended to dust a nearby Bentley. This wasn't a business deal, this was something darker. Late nights, spent poring over digital records and cross-referencing VENG numbers, led me down a dark rabbit hole. Liam wasn't the brilliant executive they thought. He was the linchpin in a massive international car theft and resale ring. The luxury line launches were fronts for moving stolen vehicles. The high-net-worth clients were his The threatening emails, the illicit payments, I accessed it all through an old, forgotten shared cloud drive from his family computer during a previous visit home. The pattern emerged like a poison spreading through clear water. My perfect cousin was a criminal, systematically dismantling lives and livelihoods, using his family's reputation as a shield. Every success story Aunt Carol and Uncle Robert worshipped was built on destroyed property and ruined credit. The evidence was overwhelming. Dozens of luxury cars gone missing from various ports, systematically documented fake registrations, a network of exploitation that had built Liam's entire career. I sent everything to the Interpol division specializing in international organized crime. Within 3 weeks, federal agents descended on Sterling Motors during their highly anticipated Centennial Collection launch event. The live broadcast of the event was interrupted by sirens and flashing lights. Headlines screamed, "Luxury car dealership executive arrested in multi-million-dollar theft ring. Sterling Motors under investigation." Liam, in his pristine suit, was led away in handcuffs, his face pale and bewildered, in front of news cameras, and a stunned crowd of investors and staff. The dealership was immediately shut down, assets frozen, his penthouse seized. He moved back into his childhood bedroom, broke, disgraced, facing decades in federal prison. When I finally called Aunt Carol and Uncle Robert, there was a dead silence on the other end. "We had no idea," Uncle Robert whispered, his voice cracking. "Perhaps if you'd truly seen me, Aunt Carol, you wouldn't be standing here shocked right now," I said, my voice steady, devoid of the tremor it once held. "You were so busy looking at the reflection of yourselves in Liam, you missed the truth right in front of you." Aunt Carol's sobs crackled through the phone. "We're so sorry, Maya. You were the only one with integrity." 6 months later, they attended my promotion ceremony at a rival, legitimate dealership. Their faces etched with genuine pride, a stark contrast to the performative smiles of the past. Uncle Robert, humbled, even apologized to Maria. Meanwhile, Liam works in the prison laundry, earning pennies an hour. His mugshot plastered across global news feeds, legal bills bankrupting what little his parents have left. The golden child lost everything, while their failure built something real for me, something honest and earned. The door they walked out on, I finally got to close. And this time, it was on my terms. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to smash that thumbs up and hit subscribe for more unforgettable, emotional, and viral true stories. We want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell us, where in the world are you watching from?